Hey everyone, this is Ultra Runner. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're just gonna just want to kind of talk to you guys about what I always call figure defining moments, and it's essentially we all are collecting here, and we have different reasons for collecting and different things we collect, and whether it's the properties, the scale, whatever the case may be. And at some point, we kind of make a decision to go in a direction, and I want to kind of talk to you guys about mine, and just kind of get your thoughts on when you guys change yours and things of that nature. What puts you on the path that you're on right now. So I'll take you guys back to October 2024. So I've been collecting most of my life, which is I'd say probably at least the last 40 something years I've been collecting. And Transformers, Star Wars, here and there, those are the two main properties I collect. Well, I decided to get back into collecting truly about 4 years ago. And so I started with what else, like a lot of you guys, with 12 scale. Well, I know some of you guys kind of jump into vintage collection size, but I started with 12 scale, and I was picking up Black Series, and I was like, well, these Black Series figures are kind of cool. And then I started watching some channels like Kaiju Daddy, who turned me on to Mafex and SH Figure Arts. And so after seeing those, I was like, okay, well, these are a much, much better version of the figures I like. And more detail, more accessories, just looks like better care went into them. Granted, they are way more expensive, but for the most part, they were definitely a big upgrade. So I decided to go that route and started picking up as many Mafex and SHF as I could. And if you guys look at some of the old videos on the channel, I mean, I had, when it comes to like Captain America, like every Cap figure by SHF and Mafex, you just name it, I had it. And so as I started looking through those, and I'd say now, remember, my collecting started in December 2024 is when I actually made the switch. But what happened was, I guess I was picking up everything probably maybe like 2022 is when I started collecting again. And I remember they were showing Hasbro was teasing that they were going to be releasing a Savage Press. And I remember I was so hyped for it. The community, the Black Series community was so hyped for it. And then they showed them, and it was, for me, it was like the wind was let out of my sails. And everybody's talking about how good he looked and how accurate he looked and things of that nature. I cleaned up all the wiring down here too, so actually it came out really, really well. And so I was like, okay, this looks okay, I guess. And this was October 2024. And I remember seeing, and I wasn't following Hot Toys at the time. I think at the point I did have one Hot Toys figure. It was this Falcon Captain America, because I really just love this look for Sam. Sam is not my Cap, but he is a cool Cap. And I do like the fact that this particular suit, even though it was a horrible show, that really nerfed him. And the show wasn't great, but the suit I think is way better, even better than the new from the one from the movie. So I picked this one up, and I just had it. So I wasn't collecting Hot Toys. I just had this amidst all my other ones because it was just such a good version. I found a great deal on it. When I saw that Savage, they announced Savage in Black Series in October of 2024, and I was like, okay, it's okay, but I guess it's the best I can do. And I remember I got a suggestion from YouTube to look at, I can't remember if it was Jetta's or if it was Justin's preview of the Hot Toy Savage. And when I saw this guy, I was like, there is no way there's no way I can not get him. I have to pick this guy up. And that's the Cosby. I just got him in, I think last week. So I got him in right before Full Size Savage showed up. And the thing is, as you guys know, probably my favorite property is it's probably Transformers. and in Star Wars. But of Star Wars, my favorite media is the Clone Wars. I love the Clone Wars. I love what he did as far as expanding on, the movies, especially the first three. Giving us a lot of background on Anakin and exactly how things transpired. And I love the arc. With Aircraft over multiple seasons with Savage and with Maul. And of course, this is my Maul concept art Maul with the Darth Maul Phantom Menace 2.0 head. I've got him kind of in his like don't even think about it kind of look, But and of course, the yellow. Let me get back. The yellow pops. But anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. So, I saw this and I was like, okay, I have to have this version of Savage. I mean, just the preview looked great. Even though they did some changes to it, they actually improved it before they released it. And I was thinking, I was like, okay, I've got a couple different options. I can keep buying and pick up every single Black Series figure I want, which will, at the time I had, I don't know, 300, 400 Black Series figures that are, 20, 25 bucks each. I said, or I can just, kind of like I did with Cap, I can just spend a little bit more, it's a lot more per figure, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm spending around the same amount of money, and just get the one or two figures I really like. And so and Savage was really the figure the release that made me dump Black Series and go into Hot Toys collecting, and truly 6 scale, because I do have InArt, and I have InArt figures coming, and I don't have the Black Series version of them because the Black Series versions don't look as good. But I would say definitely the bulk of what I have, especially currently, is Hot Toys. And from this property, this is it. And Savage was the absolute figure that made me completely change how I collected. And so I sold off all my 12 scale stuff and used all that to start buying some of the figures that were already out. So I picked up, I got this guy here, so 2012 Cap from Endgame. I got the Mark 85. And then if you spend a ton amount, which I bought those two, I got this Ahsoka for free. And of course, you guys know that's my favorite version of Ahsoka, season 7, even though she's kind of realistic looking. I'm hoping they 2.0 her and make her cartoon accurate. But when I did that, I started picking up 330 seconds. I got Vaughn. I got Rex. So a lot of the stuff I got was already out. Picked up Cyborg, which is funny because one of the guys in the comments making fun of me that I had a Cyborg but not a Batman. But I'm like, I'm waiting on the right one. But I know we're probably not going to get into the Cyborg probably ever. It's possible if Zach gets his way and they go back into it, but we'll see. But yeah, so I started picking them up, and so my idea was I'd rather have 30 or 40 just top-notch, top-end, best of the best you can get figures than have 300 or 400 that are just decent. And not that there's anything wrong with Black Series. A lot of people collect them. A lot of people collect vintage collections. I have one vintage collection figure, the Book of Boba Fett Daimyo look, and then I have a few Black Series, a few Marvel Legends, stuff like that. But for me, this was the route I wanted to go. I wanted to get the absolute best version I could, and this is where we landed. And so at that point, my entire collecting changed, and I started to pick up the Hot Toys here and there, and I haven't looked back. I've picked up some new Black Series and not Black Series, some 12 scale stuff here and there, but I'm not collecting at all. I'm just picking up some of my favorites, like Power Princess, and I got Warbird. I just picked up the new Black Widow, the comic line Black Widow by Marvel Legends. So, but yeah, so just wanted to, and just kind of let you guys know how it evolved. I know everybody's evolved differently. So, and then, and as far as Savage, The only thing disappointing about this figure, to me personally, was I didn't like the closed fist. I think the closed fist that came with it was too small. So I'm using the weapon wielding hand. I just got it turned in slightly, so if you look at him straight on, it just looked like he's got his fist balled up because the fist was too small. It was just way too small. I didn't have the wraps on it, but I know you can't remove the wraps. But since it was so small, I didn't want to bother with it. But now that I have that, it looks fine. And the only other thing I had a complaint with was I wish this front tabard here was wired, because his skirting here down here is all wired. I'm gonna put this back in front of it there. But outside of that, 10 out of 10. I mean, that's not even enough to make it a 9.8 or 9.5. And yes, there are some bias. I'm a huge Savage fan. I did Walker's lightsaber. I had a double saber lit up, but you know, the dopest part of Savage was easily when Dooku sent him to go to that outpost, and he just showed up with his axe and just ran through everyone. And so, and it's such a great job that Hot Toys did with the axe and the paint. The molding is, I mean, it is so nice. It is huge too, because if you look behind him, you can see this thing is massive, like standing straight up and down. It's taller, it's significantly taller than he is. And so I wanted that version there, but of course, I wanted him with all his horns, because you can't replace his horns and put broken ones in, or the ones that were actually technically cut off. So I wanted him full horns, looking at beast as possible. Then I like the cybernetic arm because I love the asymmetry. Plus, it just looks amazing, makes it look even more badass. And you know, he'll be up here matching my my Winter Soldier, who will be, I think, probably end up being right above him, maybe, or next to him, on the shelf next to him, with the same cybernetic arm. So, like I say, this is the concept art mall with the Phantom Menace 2.0 head on it. And when I saw this guy, I was like, this is gonna look really cool when Savage shows up. And Savage is definitely is a brighter yellow, and the mall's darker, but with the gold, you know, here, and the way that it's got the bronze coated knee pads, it's not really showing the yellow in it so much on camera, but in real life there's a lot of yellow in it. And then of course, you know, I got the little copy here, and then even the guns for the Mandalorians, their rifles really match Maul's gear. So for me, this was an ideal setup. You know, that was kind of been working on for a while, and Savage showed up and really made everything just kind of pan out perfectly. And again, like I said, I've been waiting for him too, so I got my Savage cover. It's the only cover he's been on for any Star Wars comic, and that is the Dark Horse. It was actually a free comic book day, and then that's the Maul, and this is actually from the Crimson Dawn Crime Syndicate, so it's like further along the story, but it's the same look for him with the robotic legs and stuff like that. If they decide to drop a Clone Wars Maul, I will pick him up, and I'll just move this one down, you know, because I love to have an updated Clone Wars Maul, because the one we have currently just does not look good at all. You know, no excuses. It's old, but it wasn't accurate when they dropped it, you know, and it doesn't look good now. So I never would put them back to this Savage, because this Savage is, man, Hot Toys would just, sometimes they just go super, super hard, and other times they just dial it in or phone it in. And this was definitely not a phone in. This was 100% full effort in on it, and I'm so here for it, because, like I say, he is definitely one of my favorite characters from all of the media I have. Like I said, you know, between Clone Wars and his role in Clone Wars, you know, just was super stellar. And you know, he went out. You know, granted, you gotta get killed. At least getting killed by Palpatine it's a good way to go out. I mean, you know, he was never a match for him, but I do appreciate how how they had his character, completely not scared of anything. He's super brave. It's kind of like almost like a Broly kind of figure. He just walked in and just dominated so much. And then of course he lost his arm to fight with Obi-Wan. Because Obi-Wan is just, dude's a defensive master. So, but yeah. Oh, and he ended up showing a lot of offense in here too, taking down Savage in this week is making him weak to battle. But anywho, I can talk about that Clone Wars story forever. But yeah, so again, like I say, if you look at some of the old videos I had on the channel, you can see where the 12 scale was all on these shelves in a different area, but now it's switched to 6 scale. I really am enjoying it. And like I say, it's instead of having hundreds of figures, I really just get to pick a few dozen that I just truly think are the absolute best. And I'd like to know what you guys think. How did you guys get into collecting? What are you collecting now? Are you doing 12 scale? Are you doing 6 scale? Are you doing both? I also want to do the same thing for Transformers. I'll probably do a separate video for that. But yeah, just want to kind of show you guys this and let you know exactly how I ended up in the 6 scale community. And it was this guy here. It was Hasbro's pretty poor attempt at a Savage. I think if they'd have made a great looking one, I probably would have still been collecting him. But after seeing theirs and seeing this, like the thumbnail study side by side, I had to go this route. So, but anyway, let me know what you guys think. Please share your stories in the comments below. Thanks a lot. Later.